Hey, what's up guys, I'm Sautake and I've been using the iPhone 11 as my daily phone for like 4 months now, and long story short, I'm convinced to say that this is pretty much one of the best experiences that I've ever had with an iPhone. Let me elaborate. Okay, let's start off with the aesthetics. So right from the first time when you will see it or when you pick one up, you will straight away realize that it's not something extraordinary or something out of the box. But that's necessarily not a bad thing, because the beauty of this phone is actually its simplicity. I mean, if you look at the back, yeah, it has camera cut out at the top, but other than that, there is just the logo of the company engraved in such a way that it looks and feels aesthetically pleasing, especially the black one, which is super sexy and minimal too. But anyways, since it's a glass construction, it is a must to slap a skin or case right from the day one. So in case you're wondering, I will leave links of all my cases in the description below. Make sure to check them out. Now, looking at the front, it has a liquid retina display, which is basically a cover up for an LCD panel. And yeah, I know it's not even full HD, which obviously makes it a look bit more outdated, at least on paper, but practically it's perfectly fine. In fact, I easily got used to it. I mean, in my usage time, I didn't really feel any huge difference switching from my OnePlus 5, which is of course a full HD 1080p display. I think that's possible because of the calibration done by Apple. Nice. Okay, now let me talk about something which I am super impressed with. It's the speakers. So the display is accompanied with two of the best sounding speakers of all time. One of the reasons it sounds really great is because of the position they are in. One is at the bottom along with the microphone, and the other one is at the top embedded with the earpiece. So you get to hear pretty much from the top and bottom, which makes the iPhone 11 one of the best media consumption devices that I've ever used. They get insanely loud, the sound is very clear, and it does not distort at all, so that's very impressive. But moving on with the performance aspect, I can assure you that this thing is completely ready for the future. The performance as expected is crazy fast, no matter how hard you multitask, or basically when you open up all the apps in your smartphone, it won't slow down. That's mainly because it has got the industry leading world's fastest Apple A13 Bionic chipset, which is probably the best you can get right now. So now we can basically play any game at the highest graphics with no frame drops or whatsoever. It's buttery smooth. Speaking of smoothness, I have to say this, the gestures, the animations you get on an iPhone feels a lot more fluid and gives a unified experience. And it doesn't really stop with gestures. The haptics within the iPhones produce subtle vibrations that just works throughout the system. Like when I press and hold on an app, or when I get a call or notification, it just feels a lot more realistic, and the feedback basically makes me to stick with this phone like forever. It's just so soothing. Okay, now the best perk of owning an iPhone is hands down its ecosystem. The integration of software and hardware along with the powerful ecosystem built around products gives us a very seamless and unparalleled experience. Personally, I've been an Apple user for a long time. I have an iPad mini with me, which still works, and I also got a MacBook Pro 15-inch with the touch bar. So when I was looking for a phone upgrade, obviously my only choice was to go with the iPhone, because I strongly believe that the full potential of an Apple product can be derived only when used with other Apple products. Like some exclusive features you get within the ecosystem makes your life a lot more easier. And I really like the convenience of to basically take or make phone calls not only from my iPhone but also on my Mac. That's so nifty. And then there is something called as hands off that basically allows me to start something on one device and finish it on another. For instance, if I'm using Safari on my phone, Safari icon will show up on my Mac's dock, so I can pick up right where I left off. Super convenient. And then how could I miss AirDrop, which makes the transferring of files so much seamless. And also, since I own an AirPod, it pairs with my iPhone almost instantly, and if I want to use it on my Mac, then I just need to open the lid, that's it. It gets connected. I think these kinds of features really enhances the overall experience within the ecosystem. Okay, now let's talk about the most hyped aspect of this phone, and that's the camera. The main lens is accompanied with an ultra-wide lens, and both are 12 megapixel sensors. Basically, the images captured by the 11 turns out to be crazy fast, well saturated, the colors are always on point, plus it has got really high dynamic range. So the amount of details you get with the images you click, there is absolutely no chance of getting disappointed. Also, it has the portrait mode, which performs fairly good, but the bokeh you get is absolutely stunning. But sometimes it does messes up with the edge detection, particularly with non-human objects, that definitely looks a bit odd. But anyways, having that extra lens is always pretty convenient. The ultra-wide lens in particular delivers some amazing results. It kind of adds a completely new perspective to the images you take. But there is a catch. So if you're shooting using the main lens and then when you switch to the ultra-wide one, you can straight away notice the grain, which surely does look a bit weird. But moving on, the main lens now has the night mode, which honestly I haven't used that much, but the results were really impressive. But that doesn't really end there. The biggest reason why I love the camera so much is its stunning video quality. Now we can shoot videos in 4K at up to 60 FPS and slow-mos up to 240 FPS. And as expected, the results are just out of the world. It overshadows all the flaws the camera has. Easily the best feature of the iPhone 11. And finally, let's talk about the battery life. I usually get an easy more than 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, even 9 sometimes, with my heavy usage. I'm super active on Twitter and Instagram these days. I also do play a lot of games. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately. So after all this, I'm still left with juice for the next half of the day. And that's spectacular. It comes with a 5-watt charger in the box. So it would literally take about 3 hours to fully charge. I know that's ridiculous, but I usually charge it overnight so I can blaze through the next entire day. So at the end of the day, the iPhone 11 checks marks a lot of things, like the super convenient wireless charging, very quick and reliable Face ID, which also happens to work even in dark, and it has got the fundamentals right. Really great battery life, the best camera, impressive sounding speakers, and literally the best performing device in the market. So overall, I can easily recommend this phone to anyone looking for a new iPhone, and you won't be disappointed. There you have it. That's my take on the iPhone 11. So if you've enjoyed watching, feel free to drop a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.